what they were telling me gingered me to read well, read better, and by the grace of God, the next edition, I was part of the Daniels.
This seminar is just for us, and I really appreciate Deeper Life High School for creating an opportunity like this. We didn't have Activate or Triangle during my time. I was so surprised when I saw it was Triangle 7.0 already. That means Deeper Life High School has gone very far.
You cannot spend all your time dismissing God. Then when you need it, you run to Him. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to put God in the pride of place that you ought to be in your life. So that when you want to pass that crucial exam, when you want that provision to be made, you'll be able to go to Him. Watch over your attitude. Attitude is 100%. Attitude is everything.
Parenting in the digital age. But we are looking at this from the perspective of a triangle. We are looking at the parents, we are looking at the students, the youths, and we are looking at the staff of the school in the society. We are looking at the parents, the school, and the society within this tripod or triad or triangle. And we want to talk briefly about the collective responsibilities all these have in raising a total child in the digital age.
Ways we can effectively communicate. There's communication and there's effective communication.
Ghana, join me as I welcome Dr. Jemima Omoribwe.
I'll be talking on prioritizing your mental health in times like this. When we talk about mental health, some people think about an individual roaming the streets, probably in a dirty attire or not even properly dressed. Some people think about an individual in the psychiatric ward in the hospital. But no, mental health is more than the absence of mental disorders. In fact, the WHO defines mental health as a state of mental well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn well and work well, and contribute to their community. As a student, your community is the various campuses where you find yourself.
My name is Chase Capo. I'm calling from Boulder, Colorado in the United States, but I live in Texas. And I founded a Christian AI company 3 years ago. And now our company is really focused, merged with another company, on creating Christian AI for particular ministries like Deeper Life, or for particular Bible schools, or for even high schools and secondary schools across the world as a student assistant. So like Deeper Life.
What's more important to you as a parent? The clothes you buy, the donations you make in church, so the whole church knows that you are donating, not necessarily to God, but you want to be the big boy or the big girl, the big madam, the big man in church. And in doing this, you lose taking care of your students, inability to pay school fees as and at when due, and you don't buy the things they need for them. Educators, sacrificing your comfort on the altar of the success of those students. Payment is done for you to ensure their success by God and through God, but you decide to take your rests, your opportunity to relax more serious than you take them. Let me end by telling you, learn from the proprietor of the Deeper Life High School, Pastor Dr. W.F. Kubi. At 81, it seems that the man is even much more focused than he was yesterday. He said something, he reenacted what Albert Einstein said, that when you do something the same way consistently, you have the same result, and only foolish people do that. You want to move forward? Don't just think outside the box, create your own box.
And there was an emperor called Philip of Macedon. He wanted his son to be great in life. He handed him over to Aristotle to say, train this boy for me. Just one man, training another. The same way that Paul will say, I studied under Gamaliel. We need mentors. We need teachers. We need discipleship. Jesus mentored the 12, and you see apostles, the legend mentored Elisha. See what became of them. We need mentorship. We need discipleship. We need practical evangelism. We need to go back the same way that used to happen in the 70s. People will be preaching everywhere.
Just before I started the presentation, I looked at some of the questions, and it just proves to me that there is still a little bit of a misunderstanding how our mental health impacts our behavior, our physical life as well, and our learning. And the most common mental health issues are stress, anxiety, and depression. And we have to remember that it's also how we perceive some of the stresses. Because when we talk about mental health, we automatically go into this kind of bubble thinking, is there something wrong with me? Why am I feeling low? Why am I feeling down? Why am I procrastinating all the time? And automatically thinking, is there something wrong with me? So sometimes that distortion in our thinking can create more anxiety in ourselves. So what I would like you as a parent, educator or student to really think about what your thoughts are. Because your thoughts impact your feelings impact your behavior.
It is essential to use the internet responsibly and ethically to avoid the negative consequences associated with its misuse. And that is why I am here today. I'm here to inform you that the internet has uses and has misuses. The internet can be used responsibly and ethically to avoid these negative consequences. And everything has a good side and has a bad side. It's not just the internet. Someone can use a fork to kill another person, and it's just a fork. A fork that was just meant to be used to eat can be seen as a weapon in another person's hand.
Look at those around you. Are you sure they're in the right position, right, to correct you? They're like you. They know you. They're like the same level with you. Are you sure they're in the right position to give you the right answer? But you went along with that answer and eventually dropped out of the game and lost out. You have to be intentional. It all shows that story I did. It just shows that your friends, your social circle, are a determining factor in remaining sane in this world. Life in making progress and achieving purpose, you must sanitize your relationship. Check your friends. Do you have toxic friends around you that tempt you or pull you towards negativity? Then you must sanitize your social circle. They set personal goals.
So, and together, we pray for each other, help one another, feed them to also know that whoever is their senior, they owe him a duty to respect him.
All of us have responsibilities. We have roles to play to shape the life of this younger generation. And this is able to address the vices that we see in our communities, in our environment today. In our family here, we believe in the word of God. We believe salvation of these children, and that's we need emphasis on that. Then again, because once if you have saved and they have accepted us as the Lord and Master Savior, then for them to be able to make it in life will be easy.
We see the accentuation of technology. Technology is growing fast. Morality is declining. That is one of the challenges of the passage of time in the era in which we are.
To be able to produce, to be able to birth another propel generation. And we thank God for the parents, the teachers, the pastors, the mentors that God has blessed us with.
All right. Cool.
People who are full of wisdom, people who are full of knowledge, people who have gone through molding to be able to impact us as a proper generation. For the current generation, you can only take a donkey to the river. You cannot force a donkey to drink. So also, if our parents, our teachers, and everyone putting all their efforts, putting everything within them to impact us, and we are not ready to take it in, then we cannot be proper.
As a school,
Deeper Life High School.
Leadership with distinction.
Leadership with distinction.
Deeper Life High School.
Put your hands together for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, we're in a GenZ generation, an era that is typically elusive to building a meaningful bond with these youngsters. It is typically elusive to earning their trust or even establishing an harmonious communication pattern with them. It is on this note that the Deeper Life High School nationwide has given us this formidable platform to make sure that this lacuna is filled up and that we'll be able to earn the trust of these youngsters. We'll be able to build bond with these youngsters and be able to foster an effective communication. And while we're doing that, it's with the view of making our home, our school community, and even the society at large a better place. Now the question is, which event are we talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, mommies, daddies, guest speakers, the view at home, you are all welcome to Triangle 10.0. A round of applause for yourself.
Celebrate yourself. And the theme is
building bridges through bonding, trust, and effective communication within the school and home community. Triangle 10.0. Let's echo the theme again. Building bridges through bonding, trust, and effective communication within the school and home community. Thank you so much. You're welcome to Triangle 10.0. I am Mrs. Tafa Ijomo Seka, and with me are
Williams Miracle
and Mr. Orji Lawrence.
Thank you so much. You are welcome to Triangle 10.0. This occasion is promised to be exciting. It will be full of fun. I just want you to stay tuned and get the best out of this program. Once again, you are all welcome. Now, as you all know, it is appropriate to formally commence this program with an opening prayer. It's needful for us to invite the presence of God to this program, and our opening prayer will be said by Mr. Orji Lawrence.
Thank you very much for the ample privilege. But before the opening prayer, we want to formally crave the indulgence of all the campuses that they should be posting the name of their campuses in the chat box, that is on the YouTube chat box, for proper marks of identification. Let us pray. Our Father and our God, we want to thank you for the great success recorded in the previous triangles, previous activate great occasions. You've done so much. You've revived, you've transformed, you've enlightened us as staff members, as students, and the various relevant stakeholders connected to Deeper Life High School nationwide. And here again, we are on a solid platform where we want to have these youngsters to go to a next pedestal of relationship, not only with us, but across the frontiers of nations. And we are asking from the beginning of this program, with this opening prayer down to when the closing remark as well as the closing prayer will be said, we crave for the presence of the Trinity of the Godhead to be with us, that all facilities, all men, all materials, all methods, everything that will be duly employed for the success of today's Triangle 10.0 will function competently, proficiently, effectively, and efficiently in Jesus' name.
Amen.
At the end of the day, all glory, all honor, all kudos, and all accolades will be ascribed to the one who made it possible for us to be here and alive today. We thank you, Heavenly Father, because you know you've answered us. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen.
Thank you so much for the opening prayer. We believe the presence of God is here and He has started with us. The next item on our list will be the national and the school anthem.
Students of Deeper Life High School, children of God, yes, of noble name, striving virtue and learning to rule in every weather all the same. Fight evil, defend the truth, and be mindful, and with a sense of pride play the game. Consider the lofty visions of our founders, their noble deeds and dignity mirror, being not distracted nor corrupted by others, and walk not in ways that lead to sorrow, who feel the hopes of our mothers and fathers of a better and brighter tomorrow.
You are our formidable audience. Without you, this program will be as if we are just talking to a select few. More power to your elbows. We want to appreciate our students across all campuses for being the reason for converging a great August occasion as this. Our staff members across the 23 campuses, we want to recognize you. We want to also duly appreciate all our management staff members our guest speaker, a great educationist and educator, Dr. Mrs. Christiana Stephen, our alumni of today, a medical student with Unilorin, Ms. Ademulegu, and also Ms. Deborah. And also want to appreciate all our principals across our various campuses, our various administrators, for all their sacrificial day-to-day administration geared towards ensuring the continued existence and success and progress of Deeper Life High School nationwide, and our directors that are nationally formulating broad policies that will move this great citadel of learning forward and synchronize our efforts to ensure that Deeper Life High School is a primus inter pares, first among equals, not only in Nigeria, but across the frontiers of nations. We want to also appreciate our school management committees across the campuses, as well as our state overseers of all the states that we have Deeper Life High School campuses. And the convener, the brainchild behind most of our Deeper Life High School programs, a mother in Israel, a leader per excellence, Mrs. Thelma O. Malaka, our ears, for all the wonderful things that she has been putting together to make sure that our students are well built, our staff are well trained, and that all of us are abreast of this 21st century and be relevant. And last on the list of our recognition, we want to appreciate our founder, our father, and also our pastor, our general superintendent, Pastor Dr. W.F. Kumuyi, for making this a reality, that today that we are celebrating, he is a precursor. And on this note, we say you are highly welcome once again to Triangle 10.0 that promises lots of experiences and varieties that will all make all of us to smile at the end of the day. And on the next item, we have
the introduction of guests, introduction of campuses, which will be handled by the personal secretary, Thank you very much for that recognition of campuses. And now we move on to Triangle Storyline.
We take the Triangle Storyline.
Deeper Life High School. Triangle Storyline. The Triangle is an holiday virtual program for parents, staff, and students of Deeper Life High School. This was born out of the burden, love, and passion of our Education Secretary, Mrs. Malaka Thelma, for children's welfare and well-being.
She constituted a committee and saddled them with the responsibility to organize this program on a termly basis. The triangle, like the three sides of an equilateral triangle, made up of parents, staff, and students of DLHS, with God holding us together, provides us a platform to discuss issues that are pertinent and very crucial to the home, school, and society at large, with our students at the center of focus. This edition marks the 10th Triangle, and it promises to be a great one. Join us as we go the memory lane on the Triangle. Triangle 1.0. Topic: Collective responsibilities toward raising a total child in a digital age. Date: the 23rd of April 2022. Guest speakers, Mrs. Kemisola Omoyoba, social media influencer and creator of Heirs of God, Kingdom page of Facebook. Pastor Wale Esinai, the DLBC State Youth Coordinator, Rivers State, Nigeria. Dr. Solomon Wader, PTA Chairman, DLHS, Osogbo Campus. Triangle 2.0. Topic: Staying Sane in a Perverse World. Date: the 20th of August 2022. Guest speakers: Pastor Topoyim PhD, MNIPR, Media Executive, Senior Broadcast Journalist, MD, CEO Food and Health Communications. Dr. Celiatu Rhoda Ohimor, Pharmacist, Professional Counselor, Substance Use Prevention Professional and Teen Parent Coach. Mr. Chris Okafor, PTA Chairman, DLHS Abuja Campus. Triangle 3.0. Topic: Prioritizing your mental health in time like this. Date: the 4th of January 2023. Guest speakers: Pastor Alasola Olyamide, Emotional Intelligence Expert and Behavioral Control Specialist. Dr. Gilda Scarf, CEO and found Positive Education, Building Resilience and Mental Toughness in Young People, Canterbury, Kent, England. Father of the Day, Pastor Akpan Nekaroom, the PTA Chairman, Lagos Campus. Alumnus of the Day, Dr. Jemima Omorog, Class of 2016, DLHS Port Harcourt Campus. Triangle 4.0. Topic: Basic Cybersecurity Awareness. Date: the 26th of April 2023. Panelists: Mr. Abayomi Apetu, Chief Technical Officer, NetPlus Limited. Mr. Daniel Okon, World Bank Consultant on ICT and Digital Education. Mr. Isaiah Lucky, Head of ICT, Deeper Life High School. Father of the Day, Dr. Stephen T. Alale, PTA Chairman, Yenagoa Campus. Alumnus of the Day, Brian Baham, Class of 2019, Delta Campus, Computer Engineering, New York. Triangle 5.0. Topic: Emotional Intelligence and Effective Communication among Parents, Teachers, and Students. Date: the 18th of August, 2023. Guest speaker: Mr. Ampa Kwesi, a brain coach and educational consultant. Father of the Day, Professor Joel Babalola, SMC Chairman, DLHS, Ibadan. Alumni of the Day, Dr. Udo Abasiandikan Pius, Class of 2017, DLHS Abuja, Medial Degree from Ryanzom State University, Russia. Miss Joy Solomon, Class of 2017, DLHS Yola, now Alauya. Triangle 6.0. Topic: Our Collective Responsibilities in Raising a Proper Generation. Date: 3rd January 2024. Guest speaker: Art Revd. Professor Dapo Asaju, Bishop Theologian and former Vice Chancellor, Ajay Crowther University. Father of the Day, Pastor Moses Nsanam, SMC Chairman, DLHS, Port Harcourt. Alumnus of the Day, Miss Grace Aranciola, Class of 2018, DLHS, Lagos Campus, and Valedictorian, Class of 2023, AF Babalola University, Adu Ekiti, Nigeria. Triangle 7.0. Topic: Communication, the Key to Family Bond. Date: the 14th of April, 2024. Guest speakers: Hun, Justice Matthias Angbula, Judge, High Court of Justice, Osun State. Mrs. Immaculate Ekong, Parent, DLHS Kaduna Campus. Alumni of the Day, Koshari Thlalakolo, Class of 2017, DLHS Abuja. Ofubu Unia, Class of 2020, DLHS Delta. Triangle 8.0. Topic: Eat to Excel, a nutritious quest for a happy and healthy student. Date: the 28th of August, 2024. Guest speaker: Professor Oluwemi Isaac Oluder, Consultant Pediatrician, Ekiti State Teaching Hospital, Nigeria. Alumni of the Day: Shikoni Jemima. Class of 2016, DLHS Lagos Campus. CEO MIMA4U Food Manufacturing, Ebi Dominion. Class of 2021, Delta Campus. Pharmacy Department, University of Sunderland. Triangle 9.0. Topic: Navigating the Digital Age. Helping children build critical thinking skills in their media consumptions. Date: the 8th of January 2025. Guest speakers: Pastor Chase Capo, co-founder faithassistant.com, Bible Chat AI, and allforthechurch.com, USA. Pastor Peter Elias, Associate Professor, Unilab and DLBC, National Youth Coordinator. Alumnus of the Day: Dr. Olawuka Stephen, Class of 2016, DLHS, Osogbo, Nigeria. Triangle 10.0. As parents and teachers, we often wonder, do our GenZ teens truly understand us? What are the gaps in our relationship with them? How can we bridge these gaps? The upcoming DLHS Triangle 10.0 program explores these questions, focusing on building bridges through bonding, trust, and effective communication.
This 10th edition is powerfully packaged for all parents, staff and students within and outside Deeper Life High School community to learn how to relate with one another, so as to preserve this generation.
It's our joint responsibility. Meet our guest speaker, Dr. Christina Stephen, a life coach, certified educator, senior lecturer, researcher, author, and certified digital marketing professional.
Our alumni of the day: Miss Oluwazen Ademulegan, Class of 2017, DLHS Ilorin and medical students in Unilorin. Miss Folasel Deborah Oyuolua, Class of 2019, DLHS Delta Campus and a law graduate. Welcome on board.
This will be taken by Mr. Joseph Olufokumbi, the personal advisor to the educational secretary. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Deeper Life High School. I want to greet every one of us. It's a great privilege to this time around for me to introduce our education secretary. This is the time we have been waiting for, and thank you for that storyline of Deeper Life High School Triangle over time. So this time around is very, very important, and I would like us to put our hands together. Especially welcome the mother of the day, our education secretary, the education secretary of Deeper Life High School worldwide, and it's no other person but Mommy Tema Malaka to address us. Mommy, you are welcome. Can we stand on our feet as we welcome our mommy to this great occasion? You are welcome, ma.
God bless you. I want to say good afternoon to everybody. Today is exciting as we again witness another edition of the Triangle. This is the 10th edition and we call it Triangle 10.0. I want to say the uniqueness of today's episode is something I think we will keep for a very, very long time. Look at the topic. Building bridges through bonding, trusting, and effective communication. Now, when you communicate with children, I think you solve a lot of problems. And we're in the world of communication. So not to communicate is to destroy whatever there's been. We need this bridge, the bridge of communication. So I want to say formally, welcome to this great occasion. I'm very happy that we have a seasoned guest speaker when it comes to this area of communicating with our children, a mother herself, and that is no other but Dr. Christiana Stephen. Dr. Christiana Stephen, we're very happy to have you. I count Deeper Life High School lucky to have your attention so that you can talk to us. We are all ears, we are waiting, and definitely today, bridges will be built. Then we have our own two lovely, wonderful ladies. The first one left Deeper Life High School in 2017, and that is Miss Ademulegun Oluwaseun. Oluwaseun, we're so proud of you. We followed you all along. We remember you as a child of 10, and seeing you now gives us so much joy. We're so happy too that we have Deborah here, class of 2019. Thank God you are here. Thank God you have not thrown away all that we gave to you. And so with you, we are still building. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to take too much of your time. Join us as today, once again, Triangle 10.0 is going to blow your mind. Welcome all, and thank you very much, Abuja. God bless you all.
Next. Thank you very much and welcome back. Over to you.
We are all welcome back. Triangle 10.0.
Building bridges through bonding, trust, and effective communication within the school and home community.
At this juncture, we want to introduce our guest speaker, a seasoned educator and educationist. She has a doctorate degree in education. She has many years cognate experiences in the enterprise of teaching learning process, globally reputable and recognized with a lot of scholarly and research works. And her name is Dr. Mrs. Christiana Stephen.
Dr. Christiana Stephen is a devoted wife and proud mom of 4, whose passion for supporting families shines through her work as a life coach specializing in parenting with a heart for education and empowerment. She is also a certified educator, senior lecturer, researcher, author, and certified digital marketing professional. Her journey is rooted in a deep love for learning and a desire to make a difference, and a commitment to helping parents navigate the beautiful complex world of raising children. Stay tuned as she navigates the path of positive parenting.
Not to be here. I truly appreciate today. I appreciate to be part of the Triangle 10.0. It's also an interesting topic, an interesting theme to explore, But before I go into exploring the team, it was interesting for me because I'm not just a parent, I'm also a teacher, and I've also been a student, So it's almost like I'm the triangle myself because I've been through these three stages as a person. So the theme is interesting, building bridges through bonding, trust, and this kind of trust, we are thinking about it within the school and also the home community. But first of all, before we start talking about building bridges, what is a bridge? Because a lot of times we talk about things, but what's the concept of a bridge? We know that a bridge is something that connects two separate points. But in this context, a bridge would represent connection between people. It's between the parents, between the teachers, and also the students. A bridge is understanding across differences, the culture, not just the culture, but the generations as well, because you may have been born in one generation, but you're teaching in a completely different generation as the one you were born into. Building a bridge, or a bridge, is also a support through communication, not just communication, but effective communication through trust. How do we build that trust? How do we earn that trust? How do we sustain that trust? It is also about collaboration. So the pathway for students about this bridge is for them to thrive, not just at home, but also in school. So the aim is to build well-rounded individuals that can survive the world. So when we say build a bridge, we're encouraging everyone, not just teachers, but also parents and students. You have a huge role to play as well when it comes to building this bridge. It's about how intentional we are to connect emotionally, communicate better, and work side by side so that no one, especially a child, is left isolated. So I would ask you, what kind of bridge are you building right now? As a teacher, what kind of bridge are you building as a parent? As a student, what kind of bridge are you building? Is it strong? Is it under construction? Are you building it alone, or you're inviting other people who share same values to help you? Because you could be inviting people who don't share your values with you to build your bridge with you. So it's about thinking what kind of bridge that we are building. So as we talk about building bridges today, as a school, as a parent, as student, and even as humans, we can actually build real bridges, lasting bridges between school, build bridges that adults and young people can thrive on. We can build bridges between our hearts. So I'm going to start off with the parents, because I believe that every single thing begins at home. Everything before we hand our children over to teachers, a lot of responsibilities begin with us. As parents, do we understand what our roles and responsibilities are? So beyond just providing the basic needs, do we understand how significant our role is in our children's lives? What values are we projecting? How clear is this value? How clear is our vision for our homes? Do we understand the power of bonding? Do we understand the power of trust? And do we understand the power of effective communication? These are very important things for us as parents to pay attention to. As a parent, your role is a huge one. Now, most times we feel like our role is just to provide the basic needs, feed my children, I'm paying school fees, and that's enough. But our role is a lot more than just paying fees. The things you're saying, the things you're communicating with your children, the voices they hear that you speak to them become their inner voice. You shape your children through the things you say and the things you do not say. So communication is an important aspect of this bridge. If we want to raise well-rounded people, then our communication is an important aspect of it. So this is to parents. It's important for us to bond with our children. There's power in bonding. Bonding is not just being physically present. It's being emotionally present. It's choosing connection with our children, being able to share jokes. You know, I always talk about my dad. I talk about my parents a lot, but I talk a lot about my dad because he's passed. And one of the things I remember a lot about my dad, and I always share with my children, is all the jokes my dad would make, all the times that my dad would skip work just to be with me in the hospital, all the times that my dad would drive for hours to visit me at school. Those are the things that I remember. I don't really think about how much he had, how much money he had in his bank account before he left. I think about every single day I woke up to my dad blowing his whistle, and it's usually an off-tone whistle. So we will laugh at him. He will start blowing his whistle from key C and he will end in key D. It's something that I keep talking about because he was a present father. Not sure if he knew he was going to live a short life, but he impacted my life in such a positive way. It wasn't about how much he had. It wasn't about how much he was spending. It was about the time he spent with us. What was he doing? How was he connecting? How did we feel that when we stayed around him? My dad made us feel safe. And if I ever want to talk about him, those are the things I remember. Those are the things our children remember about us, the tiny memories. Money fades, everything else would fade. But you see those memories, those things you say to them, when you're not there, those things play back. So sometimes it might mean you saying 1,000,000 times and they act like they don't hear you, but in due time, those words speak back to them. So when you're communicating, you have to choose the right kind of words. And how do we speak the right kind of words? Your words need to link to your values and your vision. What values do you have? Because the child you're seeing now is not the child you hope to see in the future. They are work in progress. You hope to see a responsible young man or young woman in the future. And right now, if you're raising teens, the emotions are all over the place. They want to do as they want to do, they feel like they know everything, and it's overwhelming. But always remember that the person you're seeing in future is the person you're trying to shape, not the person you're seeing right now. Because the person you're seeing right now is still work in progress. And that's to us as parents. Now, to us as teachers, I have been teaching for 25 years. I have had good teachers, and I've also had teachers that I'll say, when I think about them, I'm wondering how they became teachers. Teachers, we have a huge role to play. So beyond us just writing lessons notes, I remember when I used to teach primary, because I've taught through all the levels. At this point, I'm teaching more of professionals. But I used to teach from toddlers up until colleges, secondary school. I've taught in so many places. And one of the things that I'll say to us teachers, beyond delivering education, beyond delivering knowledge, beyond engaging in knowledge, you're also a mentor. You're also a guide. You're also a pastor, because you're there offering pastoral care to the person that is seated right in front of you. You're also a role model. A student can look at you. I've had students look at me several times and say, I didn't think I'm going to ever want to teach, but each time I see you, teaching just becomes something I want to do. I don't tell people to become teachers, but your life can speak because you're the model that student is seeing. So we need to, at every point, demonstrate values like respect. How much of our students do we respect, no matter how young they are? How much of our values do we project? How much responsibilities do we have, and are we genuinely carrying out as teachers? How honest are we about the role that we've been called into? It might be a paid role, but it's a role that God takes personal, because the Holy Spirit teaches all things. So I always say the Holy Spirit is a teacher. He teaches us at all times. What kind of teacher are you? Are you teaching? Are you influencing? Are you impacting? How do you influence someone's life? Influence how your students behave, influence how they speak, influence how they treat others. You show them how to handle success. You show them how to handle grace. So a teacher's role is not just the role of staying and teaching all the subject that they get to be paid for. A teacher's role is a cultural bridge, because you're there recognizing and honoring diverse backgrounds. You're creating an inclusive environment where every student feels seen and feel heard. Because in your classroom, every student isn't going to be the same. You're going to have the ones that are outspoken. You're going to have the quiet ones. You're going to have the shy ones. You're going to have the ones that just don't even want to be there. So what kind of bridge are you building within that classroom to make sure that the people that you're teaching are actually enjoying your space, you're shaping their lives? So we have a huge role as teachers. We're also a support system. We are there to identify students who are struggling emotionally, socially, and academically. One of the things I do, one of the things I've said, and one of the things that has helped me as a teacher, I go into class and I'm trying to identify what my students need. Because every time I step into the class and I'm bringing my knowledge to the table, they look at me like, what is she saying? So I go into the class, I'm trying to understand the gaps. What does the student really need? Especially when you're teaching in a culturally diverse environment. You have people who don't have same culture with you. You know, their learning attitude is different. The way they look at you, every single thing is different. How do you bridge that gap? So as a teacher, our role is a huge role. Students would come, you spend hours with the student. Apart from teaching, what else are you doing? How else are you impacting? If a student were to write a book about my favorite teacher, would you be the one? What would they be saying in that book? Would you even be on the list? So don't see yourself as I'm paid to do this. See yourself as I'm called to do this, because a calling is something that God does with you. And if God calls you, He equips you. So as a teacher, we have a role. And now I'm going to the student, because you cannot run away from this, because you also have a huge role to play. You can make this bridge hard or easy for the people building it to actually build it for you and with you. I have seen students who are completely easy to manage. What kind of student are you? What kind of person are you? Right now, think about your 10 years from now. Who do you want to be? What do you want your story to read like? What kind of person do you want to be? I always tell my children when they do things and, you know, they're acting and they're upset, I would ask them, Would your 18-year-old self be angry about this? And they'll look at me and they'll start thinking, oh, really? Okay, I don't think at the age of 18. I said, okay. So you see that it's not even a serious case. So sometimes put yourself in your 20-year-old self, 30-year-old self. Who do you want to be? It's usually hard to do. It's something that is quite difficult to do. I remember when I was in school, when you asked me, what do you want to be? I'm very good. I've always been a very good athlete. I wanted to run. I was really good at running, you know, but I grew up in a family where every single person went to school. So being an athlete is almost like you're asking for too much, but I wanted to be an athlete. I was good. I was really good at that. But I remember one day, my grandmother said to me, you can be an athlete, but first of all, I need you to go to school. I need you to go to school. I need you to study. When you study and you feel like you want to be an athlete, then I know you're informed to be an athlete. And then I got into school. And then I'm thinking, what do I want to be? What do I want to be? At the age of 15, what do I want to be? A lot of times it's blurring. I've taught in unis and first years, 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, sometimes 19-year-olds, they come into class and I'm asking, where do you see yourself 4 years from now? They're like, I don't know. Everybody, I don't know. That's a 19-year-old person. You know, sometimes it's blurry. You can't see what you want to be. But I need you to pick every lesson, every opportunity you have to learn. Now is the best time to learn. The best time to learn is when you're young. And I always challenge my children and my students as well. When you have no responsibility, that's the best time to learn, because then you can commit to solving all your maths, doing all your English or your science, every single thing. You know, you're not thinking about bills. When you get to my age and you want to go to school, because I tried doing a course, I like to get a certificate every year. And last year I told myself, oh, I need to get this certificate, you know, I like going to school. And then I started this course. I like school, so it shouldn't be a problem for me. Then I realized that it's harder now to study than it was 10, 15 years ago. So it's not that you can't study at any point, but it's easier when you're younger. So every opportunity your parents give to you, run with it. Because you see, tomorrow you have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. You take advantage of every single lesson you're learning. You might not use it, but learning is ongoing. It doesn't stop. You might not use it for yourself, but you're certainly going to use it for someone. And I know I'm saying this because I've been in a situation where I'm learning something. I don't want to learn it. And then years after I realized I actually was learning it for someone else. I see my kids, my son, he wants to be an athlete. And I remember I said I wanted to be an athlete. And every time he's asking me, Mommy, how were you such a good runner? How were you doing this? How were you doing that? And I'm revisiting my 11-year-old self and remembering everything I did that helped me in the field. And I'm teaching him exactly what I used to do. And he does it and he's winning. So some lessons that you learn now may not be for you. It may be for someone. So learn it. There is no crime in learning. So when opportunities are given to you, grab it. Because a lot of young people dump opportunities because you think, I'm too young. I can't be bothered. It's the attitude. I can't be bothered. I don't care. You know, why are they making me do it? Learn it. Take the opportunity. Your mom wants you to learn something. Your mom wants you to do something at home. Do it. Your teacher wants you to try to do something. Do it. They're telling you, oh, try and solve this thing. Try. And don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to say, I don't know. You know what? We don't know everything. And that's okay. That's why we are learners. We don't know everything. We go into that place. If you tell us you don't know, a good teacher shouldn't look down on you. A good teacher should explain to you. So you don't have to know everything. You don't have to be perfect at everything or be good in everything. But if you commit yourself to it, the more you commit, the better you become at that thing. So if there's anything that is difficult for you to do, just commit yourself to it. Even if it means just 30 seconds every day, commit to it. It will become a lot easier. So having said that, I've spoken to us as parents, as teachers, and as students. How do we then come together? How do we then bring ourselves together? We are not in competition. We are actually working as a team. And I say this a lot of times to parents that I coach. I tell them, work with your child's teacher. And I say to teachers, work with your child's parent. Because at the end of the day, you're a team. And the two people involved are there for one person, which is the student. So the school and the parent are not in competition. They are a team. It's easy to see school and home as two separate worlds. But when we separate it, we are creating gaps. What's the idea of a school? What's the idea of a home? The idea of both is to raise well-rounded people. So we are actually trying to achieve the same thing in different ways. So we are not competing with each other. So teachers shouldn't be having issues with parents. Parents shouldn't be having issues with teachers if we have effective communication. If we know what the expectations are. I walk into school, my kid's school, and I say to the head teacher, I say to her, what do you think my child does at school that I'm not aware of? Because I want to know the behavior my children have outside. And that's the side of parents. Parents don't like to ask us questions. We like to argue. Oh, my child is perfect. Oh, yes. But outside, is the teacher that will literally tell you how your child behaves with a group of people. So work with your child's teacher. Now, these two halves of the same bridge would help the child to have a strong foundation. So working together, working as a unified system where parents feel welcomed into the school, not just when something is wrong. That's when we call parents up. Oh, come, your child did this, your child did that. But also trying to know, has my child done something good? Communicating, teachers seeing parents as partners, not obstacles or critics. Students know the adult in their life talk. If you are a parent who stays at home and talks down on your child's teacher, then it would impact how your child behaves when they see that teacher. If you also, as a teacher, talk down on the child's parent, there's usually a problem. So the dynamics is to come together, because at the end of the day, we're all working together. The reason I'm teaching your child is to raise a good person. And that's what you want. So also as a parent, you want someone to support you. My grandmother would say, it takes a village to raise a child. That's how I was brought up. It takes a village to raise a child. I grew up in a time where my neighbors would tell you off. Like you literally are walking down the street, the neighbor will tell you, oh, why are you walking out late? Why are you doing this? So neighbors were in our business. But a lot of us are raising children in a time where neighbors can't tell us anything, right? We can't even trust what our neighbor is saying. The system is different. The world is changing. So how do you then create a village to help you raise your child with you? You can be deliberate about that village. And being deliberate is knowing your child's teacher, because you see that teacher is raising your child with you. That's part of your village. It doesn't have to be neighbors. Know them. You can deliberately choose the village raising your child with you. And if you're choosing that, you choose a village that shares your value, not a village that is saying something different from what you're saying, because then that causes a lot of confusion. So if a child knows, when I misbehave at school and my teacher calls my parent will not let me off the hook, they would behave well. And I've had this experience several times where the head teacher will call me to want to tell me something my child has done at school. Guess what? She would say, "Oh, Mom, he said I shouldn't tell you. He was already crying." You know why? Because they know, my children know that I work with the school. So there's no escape. There's no such thing as, "Oh, okay, oh, your teacher shouldn't have." No, I want to know. And that's how you work with them. So even when they are outside and they say, "I'm going to call Mom," they know that Mom is not just going to stand up for everything. Choose your battles. So you can deliberately work with your child's teacher. Know who they are. Talk, care about them. Because in your absence, that person is doing a job to feed. Even if the person is paid to do that job, they're still doing that job. So let's know that everything is possible when we come together, less judgment. We celebrate the diversity in teaching, the diversity in the home front. It would reduce misunderstanding. It would also reduce the huge gap that we have. So a strong school home community doesn't just raise test scores. It raises emotionally intelligent, resilient, and kind individuals. So together, we can build a world that our children can live in peace. Because the rate we're going, we might end up not having the world if we keep fighting each other. If parents keep going to school to fight teachers and teachers responding back with a fight, how do we hope that the children will do any better? So let's have a think in building this bridge. First things, the bonding. Teacher, what's your role? How do you walk into the class? Do you know your student? Do you know when they're not smiling? Do you know when they are not happy? Do you look at them? Do you look at the signals they give in class? How conscious are you? Because what a good teacher does, you take note. I take note of everyone that I teach. If I'm in that space and you do a particular facial expression, I would turn around and ask you, is everything okay? Because I care about how you're feeling when I'm here teaching you something. So bonding mustn't always be when every second, but that moment you're there, how are you bonding? How do we develop this trust? Trust is earned because you're my child. Because you're my child doesn't mean I'm going to trust you. I can love you because I must love you. But you see, trust, you earn trust. And trust for children, you need to know that the tiny things you're doing is helping your parents trust you. So if you tell your parents something and it's something that is deceitful, they love you, but you're ruining that trust. Can your parents trust you? Parents, can your children trust you? Teachers, can your students trust you? Parents, can teachers trust you? Parents, can they really trust you? Teachers, can parents trust you? You know, so it's all about that. Do we earn that trust? Are you comfortable with me teaching your child? Do you trust me enough to do that? Trust is earned. And a lot of times I like to put it this way. How do we trust? Why do we trust God? We don't trust God because we want to trust God. We trust God because God has a track record. We know he can do it. He's done it. He's done it. We've seen it several times. Even in your life, you trust God because God continually shows up. So we trust God. We don't trust God because we are told to trust God. We trust God because God has a track record. That's why we trust God. And so over time, even when God doesn't do it the way we want it, we trust him because we know he's able to do it. But can God trust you? Can God trust you? Because trust is a two-way thing. Can God trust you? So trust is something that is earned. Your child knows, okay, mommy is going to do this for me because you always do it. If you're a parent who always shows up, your child knows that you're going to show up. On their birthdays, they know you're going to do this. You're going to do this. They know who you are. Your child is reading you every single second. They know what you can do and what you cannot. So they're learning to trust you. They know you're going to pay their fees. Why? Because you've paid their fees, not because you're their parents. You can be a parent and not pay the fees. So they trust you because you're doing something, because you have a track record of always showing up, of not missing. Even when the fees is so hard to pay, you always try to pay. So your child trusts that their education is secured. But children, can your parents trust you? Because it's a two-way thing. Can your parents trust that every opportunity they are giving to you, you can walk with it, you can run with it? You will not turn around and mess with what they are giving to you. Can your parents trust you? If you can trust them, can they trust you? And it's something that you earn. You're not too young to earn trust. You're not too young to build trust. You're not too young to start working that footprint. Can this person trust what I've said? And it's just tiny bits of what we do every day. It's not the big things. Things like, oh, mommy, I'm going to church, and you end up going to your friend's house. So I'm going, those tiny things, those tiny moments. And then I've seen this several times where you grow up as a child, and it's so difficult for your parents to give you big things. It's not that they don't love you, but over the years, what does your track record say? Because as much as they love you, trust is a huge thing, and we earn it. And it's the same way we earn God's trust. Can God trust you? He looked everywhere and said, oh, no, this Job, you see Job, God was bragging about Job. Why? Because he trusted Job. Does he brag about you? So trust is something that we deliberately aim to get. You don't force people to trust you. You don't say, oh, trust me, trust me, trust me. No. There's something, your track record must be something that has registered over time, and then over time, trust is built. Then how does effective communication come in? Most times we think communication is about talking. Communication is not just about talking. Communication also involves listening. What is the person not saying? Not just what is the person saying. What is the person not saying? Exactly. So when people are talking, what are they not saying? Because a lot of times people say the things they want you to hear. So what are they not saying? Effective communication is being able to read the room. What are my learners feeling at that point they are not saying? You walk up to a student, how are you feeling today? The default is, I'm fine, because we all say, I'm okay, even when we are not. It's just our default to just say, I'm okay. And that I am fine is more like, I don't want you in my business. But you know, this student isn't fine. So beyond that, that's where communication is. So you're telling me you're fine, but I know you're not. And my student would always tell me, you know when something is wrong because we read the room. So at the end of the day, for us to build this bridge, the 3 points in this triangle have to be intentional to make sure that this bridge is not just built, but this bridge is sustained, because we can build it and end up destroying it. So when we build it, we have to deliberately sustain the bridge. So it's not about parents alone. It's also about you, the teachers, and also about you, the students. This 3 points meeting is where the unity thrives, is where there's a strong community. You feel that sense of a strong community, and it goes past it. When people are united, is a force. It's a huge force to have 3 points come together, 3 pillars come together, because children are a pillar, parents are a pillar, teachers are a pillar. It's a huge, we can build anything when these 3 points come together. And I'm just hoping that at the end of this event, we can just sit down and reflect about our own role, our own part in building this bridge. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mrs. Christiana Stephen. So much nuggets from your address. You've talked so much on integrating the 3 components of our Triangle 10.0, from bonding to the phenomenon of trust, and also effective and open communication. A teacher is a mentor, a guide, and a manager. And as a student, what's your prospect? Make a cogent decision on who you want to be. And that's the best time to learn. There is no crime in learning. A teacher should be impactful, influential, and a teacher should create an inclusive environment where every child is both seen and heard. And for teachers and parents, we are not in competition. Whether teachers or parents, we shouldn't have problem with one another. And we are poised in this web of relationship to raise an emotionally stable and resilient child. And that the idea of bonding is to have a well-rounded child. For our viewers, our stakeholders, will be also dwelling on your varied takes on Dr. Christiana's address. From Exime de Fidelis, I learned that, well, that's not clear. I learned that we should not see, okay, you should not see yourself, okay, it's not, it's a little bit incoherent. Maybe we expect more. And so, teachers and parents are to have this mentoring assessment, that we are not in any form of rivalry, as both of us are acting in loco parentis, to see to it that these children are comprehensive, composite, all-encompassing, and not one-sided. From James Raymond, I learned that effective communication is key to a good relationship. That is scintillating, even beyond the teaching-learning process. In every relationship, effective communication is very, very key. And also we have from Abidemi Ajayi, I learned that parents should use the right words to their children. We should not denigrate the children. We should not dehumanize our children. We should not victimize our children. We should use the right choices of words that will build their personality and even raise their morale to better personalities. So the right choice of words is key to the bonding. And trust, as Dr. Steven said, and that's basically true, trust is earned. It's a two-way thing. It's not a one-sided concept. You make me trust you. I make you trust me. And the two-way traffic forms the mutually exclusive harmonious relationship that will make the bonding feasible. And also open channels of communication that will not be truncated by any form of competition or rivalry. More nuggets. What did you learn? What's your take on Dr. Steven's address on building bridges through bonding, trust, and open communication both in our school and in our society at large? What's your take? We're going to read your take as we have the influx of nuggets already garnered by our viewers. More nuggets. As we await the additional nuggets from our viewers, our parents and students, including our teachers, we'll move on to the next item as Mrs. Staffa take us up from here.
Triangle 10.0, building bridges through bonding, trust, and effective communication within the school and home community. Thank you so much, Dr. Mrs. Christina Steven, for this insightful and inspirational address. Yes, you really spoke a lot concerning effective communication between the students, the parents, and the educators. I am sure we have all learned a lot because we can see so many charts, yes, on our comment section. Thank you so much. I want you to keep it up. Keep it up. Start typing. What did you learn? What did you gain? Even if you have a question, you can ask and your question will be answered. Now we are moving on to the next program. Yes, a very exciting one, because in this program we are talking about one of our own. Yes, to add another ways to Triangle 10.0, we are introducing one of our own, a Deeper Life High School alumnus, class of 2017, DLHS Ilorin campus, a medical student, and that is the person of Miss Oluwa Shehu. Please a round of applause for her. Thank you so much, Miss Oluwa Shehu.
Oluwa Shehu excelled academically and in the title of Best Female Student in her SSCE exam 2019 set. Her passion for sports shone brightly as she dominated the sprinting scene from junior school to SS3, collecting numerous awards and accolades in inter-school competitions. Beyond athletics, she was an active member of the Student Fellowship and Drama Club, nurturing her creativity and spiritual growth. As a dynamic and accomplished law graduate, having obtained her LLB from Elizabeth University, Deborah, her father, honed her legal skills through prestigious traineeship at renowned law firms such as Aluko and Ayobodai, British Network UK, and others. Gaining hands-on experience in various legal disciplines, an associate arbitrator at the Nigeria Institute of Chartered Arbitrators, Deborah is committed to advancing the field of arbitration and alternative dispute resolution. She is also a young member of the International Council of Commercial Arbitration, ICCA, and a member of Institute for Transnational Arbitration. With certifications in project management and digital marketing, Deborah is an innovative professional, bridging traditional legal practices and the evolving digital landscape. She is passionate about using her knowledge and skill to make a positive impact in legal and business sectors. Deeper Life High School leadership with distinction. Good afternoon to the Education Secretary, the school administration, the guest speaker, the principal, the educators, the students, and all distinguished guests here. I'm Adumila Goluwashin, and I'm so glad to be here. I want to appreciate the coordinator of Triangle for the privilege and opportunity to be here. I also want to this moment to appreciate Deeper Life High School for the impacts and indelible marks that was made on me. I mean, it's been years after graduation, but it's still so great to be here, and I give back to the school. So, can you to share the screen now? So, I said that. Am I still audible, please? Okay. Now we are here in Triangle 10.0 to bridge the gap. And the guest speaker has really done justice to the topic about building bridges through bonding, trust, and effective communication. Now, speaking of bridges, there's a need to bridge because there is a gap. Now, speaking about gap is the generational gap majorly. We have here, I have my audience as parents, students, and the teachers. And so that means we have the Gen X, we have the millennials, we have the Gen Z, and the Gen Alpha here. So there are dichotomies that exist between us that creates this gap. Talking about communication, our communication style differs. The older generation prefer calls, physical interaction, while the younger ones just text, and that you see usually on social media, and then that's the way they do it. And then the learning style, older generations, they have a structured way they're passing their patient. However, the younger generations, they want an interactive learning, they want the visual and the fast-paced. Then the view on authority, this is a very key one because older generations, there's a respect for hierarchy, and it's usually this, oh, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. However, the younger generations will question rules. I mean, why is this like this? Why is this like that? And that's some of the things that cause some kind of breaches. And then entertainment, the older generation, your newspapers and TV and radio. The younger ones, they are there streaming, gaming, and then memes, and so many other things. These are dichotomies, and that's why we have to bridge the gap. None of the generation is better off. Each is unique with your peculiar characteristic. But why? Then we ask, why does the bridging matter? Can't everyone be on their own? I mean, let's just go our way and we'll be fine. However, there's a need to bridge because it creates a safe space for students and for children to express their thoughts and their feelings. It opens doors for guidance, for mentorship, for help. It improves academic performance. It enhances emotional well-being. Knowing that these ones are just growing up, and then there's so many things coming up, so many so many friend stuff, peer pressure, and the likes. Then it also helps parents and teachers to identify and address peculiar issues of the teens, and even as the mission of Deeper Life High School says, that to produce students who are academically well-grounded, morally upright, and adequately equipped as future leaders. It helps to fulfill the goal of raising well-rounded and responsible students. Now, we need to understand that it's a bi-directional relationship. It's parents to students, students to parents, teacher to students, student to teacher. And from the topic, we have the three components: the bonding, the trust, and effective communication. Now, speaking on bonding, it's about having a genuine relationship built on shared values and experiences. As parents, the child comes home, there should be quality time spent, shared activities in the family, probably seeing a movie together, going out, having family tradition, and then aside that, one-on-one interaction. Sometimes it takes probably calling out the child to the room. Okay, let me hear you out. What are your goals? What are your interests? It helps to know them more. It bonds. It helps to have a shared experience, and it's time to learn a bit of their work, having understood that there are gaps already. So spending time together, bonding, helps each other. Okay, I understand this is how my parents sees this. Okay, then the parents understand. Okay, this, oh, you said this. Okay, does this mean, probably while watching a movie and like, oh, this is what this means. What the older ones probably don't know, and then you laugh. Everybody just laughs, and then the environment is just so easy, and it brings one together. And in the school, the educator, the students, it's beyond the walls of the classroom, beyond just teaching mathematics, chemistry, and so on. Learning about the interests and goals of the younger ones, it makes them to know that, oh, we have something in common. Probably they share how you went to university, the things that motivated you, and so many other things. They get to know you beyond, oh, he's just my teacher, she's just my teacher. And by the time I know that, oh, I have something in common with Mrs. This, I have something in common with Sister This, oh, she did this. And I also noticed that about myself. I will always want to go back to her, that, oh, since she had this when she was much younger, she should be able to put me through. So it helps to bond, and then listening to the struggles of the younger ones and offering support, listening to them, hearing them out, because for real, the younger ones have a lot of struggles and they really need help. Now to students, Deeper Life High School students, in this triangle, I tend more to the Gen Z, side of the triangle. And so addressing you as an alumni of the school, understand that our parents and teachers, they know that the world is evolving. Even if they're not trendy, like, mom and dad are this, my teachers are this, they really, really understand. But you need to be present and be available. So in the bonding, in as much as they want to spend time with you, everybody is hearing that the parents are here, our parents are here, our teachers are here. So even if there's a place where it's not been this way, everybody's going to change now, so we all can become better. So in as much as they want to spend time with you, also be present and available. You're at home, don't just stay in the room, you're just gaming, you're just on your phone, and it's just when it's time to eat, to come on. No, there's no way you can bond that way. There's no way you can bond. So be present and be available. Then be open so they can be a part of your world. They were not brought up in this world, in this generation. So there's a way you can let them understand by being open, by being free with them. Then be teachable. Teachers in the school will appreciate when you're teachable. They can bond better with you when you're teachable, when they give instructions and you obey. Then show respect and appreciation. It's very important in bond building. Now, the next thing, cultivating trust. Trust is very, very crucial in bridging this gap. It's a relationship where people feel safe, respected, and they have the confidence that each party is going to act with integrity and care. And as parents and teachers, it's important to create an enabling and expressive relationship. For instance, probably there's a student or a child that says, I really don't know why I want to talk to my mom, or I've done something wrong, but if my mom hears this, she's going to squeeze life out of me. Such a student, such a child is going to bottle up, and it's not going to help. It's not going to help. However, on the other side of the spectrum, we probably have one that feels, yes, I've done wrong, but I know my mom is going to hear me out. Even if she will punish me, at least she will hear me out. And that such goes maybe like the prodigal son, and then goes cries or probably calls on the phone, or even maybe write a letter, like something I can do if I'm not bold enough to say this is this. So write a letter and just speak out anyhow. Just speak out. And this can only be done when parents create an enabling relationship. Then another thing is to be real, to be transparent and consistent. One thing Gen Z's value is authenticity. Like they want you to be real, because they are also real. So they don't want you to probably be evasive or let's just try to do this. They understand things. Social media is nothing to be hidden. So when you're probably being evasive, you're not coming straight to them. You're like, why do you want to do like this? You may not say it, but it's reducing the level of trust. Then be approachable. Be approachable to let them be able to come. So if you probably say, oh, and then demonstrate trustworthiness, don't just say, oh, you can trust me, demonstrate it. And so probably the elder one is coming to you, okay, mama said we should trust that, and the mother yells at him or her. The younger one will be like, wait, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm probably just going to keep this, whatever want to happen, I'm not going to open my mouth to speak. So in as much as you want to be vehement, it should still be in a way that they will be able to approach you. Because if they go back, they will not be able to express themselves, and they will keep these things to their room. But I believe everyone is hearing today, and everyone will be more approachable, everyone will demonstrate trustworthiness, so we can come. Then for students, you have to be honest. You have to just be honest. If you want your parents to trust you, just like the guest speaker was saying that we trust our parents to pay our school fees, to do this, to do that, because they've told it before. So if you really want you want your parents to trust you trust your parents, you have to be honest. You have to be consistent. Probably in the school, you have to, you know, sometimes you hear teachers say, oh, I trust this boy, I trust this girl, because she'll always do assignments, she'll always be at the chapel, she'll always be in the hostel doing siesta. She will not be where she's not supposed to be. I trust her. So in such instances, probably when he or she does something like, what, the teacher is going to be surprised that no, I didn't expect this from you. This is because there's a level of trust that has been built in that child, in that student. So be consistent, then be honest. Even when it feels like I'm not sure I want to share this. I'm not sure. I don't know how my parents will react. I don't know how my teacher will react. Still just go and trust them that they have your best interest at heart. They will hear you out. And when you do something, when you go wrong, when you make mistakes, still be honest. It's a way of building trust. When you do wrong and you open up to it, you are making your parents know that, oh yes, this child can be trustworthy. Now, mutual respect, mutual respect. I'm pleading to all parents and educators. Gen Zs really value mutual respect. And if he or she says, I would appreciate if or she hears or sees that this information I so much entrusted in my mom, in my educator, has been divulged, he will almost never come again, and that will not be good for him or her. Trust is like a glass. Once broken, it will never be the same again. Now, the last component in our building bridges is effective communication. This is like the fulcrum that supports the bond building and trust we've discussed. You know, in communication, it is a two-way thing. You get to know what each party stands for. Get to know, okay, this is what mom wants. Okay, this is what dad wants. Okay, this is what my child is. This is how I interpret things. So for parents, it's important to practice active listening, hear their thoughts and concerns, and then have honest and open discussions about like their interests, their challenges. Make a room for them to open up and hear them. Don't be quick to judge them. Don't be quick to judge them. Don't be harsh. Yes, you should be fierce, but lovingly fierce. Because judging them will make them to lock up. And once they lock up and don't speak up again, you might not have the trust, you might not have them coming again. So family should not just be, oh, we come in the morning, we have devotion, everybody goes out in the night, we have a devotion again. No, it should be time you're able to have discussions with them, you hear them, if you talk about their goals, talk about their interests, talk about their passions. These are the way you build their choice, are the way you bond with them. Then as students, be free to express yourself clearly. We understand that our parents did not grow up in our time, and probably some slang, it might not be vulgar, some ways we speak, some communication styles might not be the way they understand. So be free to express yourself clearly. They might just need to understand the context. So, and while doing that, be polite and respectful. Be polite and respectful. You have your truth. You have what you feel. This is what I think is right. But while even trying to express be polite and respect, and even when offended, because understand, even sometimes this, it seems like mom is not getting me. This educator just sees it from her own point of view, and she's not getting me. Still be calm. I mean, raising your voice, no matter how right you are, whenever you raise your tone, you've lost it. I mean, that just spoils it. So we understand that the only constant thing is change, and active development is taking place. Young ones are still going, they're in for adventure. Bible ones that there's a way that seem right into a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. So as parents, teachers see the changes, rather than restricting or being so hard, just regulate. And as young ones, Deeper Life High School students, learn and listen. There's a Yoruba adage that says, no matter how many clothes a young one has, he does not have rags that's up to an adult. So listen and learn from their experiences. And remember, they have your best interest at heart. Conclusively, we've learned about bridging the gap. The strongest bonds, bridges, are built from both sides. So when each of us come from each ends of the bridge, of the gap, and then we build with trust, love, and communication, we'll be able to journey successfully, to live harmoniously, become better versions of ourselves, and impact life. So I urge every member of the Triangle, parents, teachers, and students, here is a call to bridge the gap. Thank you very much.
Deeper Life High School.
Distinction.
Leadership with distinction. Deeper Life High School. We want to sincerely apologize for broadcasting the wrong profile of Miss Oluwaseun Ademulegun, but her profile will be broadcasted.
Ademulegun Oluwaseun is a proud alumni of Deeper Life High School, Ilorin campus, and is currently studying medicine and surgery at University of Ilorin, Kwara State. She is passionate about public health and has a strong interest in entrepreneurship and creative writing. Driven by a desire for social impact, Oluwaseun became a Millennium Fellow through the Millennium Campus Fellowship, in partnership with United Nations Academic Impact, where she contributed to initiatives aligned with Sustainable Development Goals. She currently serves as the Academic Director of the Deeper Life Campus Fellowship, College of Health Sciences, University of Ilorin, where she supports fellow students in her pursuit of academic excellence. Oluwaseun also enjoys singing and finds joy and relaxation in listening to music. She is deeply committed to personal growth, purposeful leadership, and inspiring younger ones to rise and fulfill their God-given potentials.
Building bridges through bonding, trust, and effective communication within the school and home community. Thank you so much, Miss Oluwaseun. So many nuggets from our address. Number one, there's need for building bridges in the area of communication. There's need for building bridges in the area of learning style, the view of authority, and entertainment. And there's something striking that she said, that every generation is peculiar and unique. No one is better off. So ensure you have effective communication in your own generation. She also said something, that genuine relationship is built on shared values and experiences. Genuine relationship is built on shared values and experiences. She also spoke concerning the parent-child relationship, that there is need for you to have quality time with your children. She also said about educators, there is need for you to know the interest of your students, and understand them, so you'll be able to communicate effectively with them. There's something else she said, a very good adage that she said, trust is like a glass. Trust is like a glass that when broken, it will never be the same again. So let's ensure we bond. Let's ensure we keep our trust, and let's ensure we have positive and effective communication. Thank you so much, Miss Oluwaseun. And for those online, please keep your comments. Keep your comments concerning what we just learned. Keep your comments. Keep it coming. We have one from Abigail. She said, teachers and parents should be approachable. Very important from Abigail. Abigail, thank you so much. Others, we are still expecting your comment. Please keep it coming from what you have learned from that of Dr. Mrs. Christina Stephen. Even what you learned from Miss Oluwaseun Ademulegun. Thank you so much, our audience. We appreciate you. Thank you for your patience. We also have another one from Temitayo. We have another one from Temitayo. Temitayo, thank you so much for what you have learned. You learned as a student. Yes, it is very, very important for you to have effective communication with your parents and teachers. Thank you so much, Temitayo. We are grateful. Now we are moving to the next program on our list, and it will be taken by Mr. Williams Miracle.
Thank you very much. Thank you to our guests. Your information has been very, very enlightening. We're moving on next to our students presentation, which is the next item on our list. Student presentation.
Today we are going to make a solar box, and these are the materials required. First, we need our solar panel, we need our bulb for the solar box. These are 12 volt DC cell, and these are DC AC converter, and this is the rectifier, this is the screwdriver, that's the bolt.
In the quiet corners of our souls, where dreams ignite and passions unfold, lies a gift. It's not just a practice skill or some art. It's a quality that sets us all apart. It turns a babe into a sage. Colorful in random diversity. Talents bring our wonderful world to unity. Talents are everywhere around us, and you don't have to look too far to find them. Talents live in paintings, pictures so raw, strokes full of emotion and wonderment awe. Talents sing through chords, harmonies collide. A beautiful rhythm where dreams reside. Talents sleep, defying gravity's hold. A dance of freedom, stories untold. Talents dance in numbers, calculations in the mind. Solving puzzles, difficult you may find. Talents are everywhere. Look at these sculptures. Images are brought to life. Lest I forget of the astronomers who stitched the galaxies and constellations in the thread of curiosity. Programmers, hackers, and garden architects. They conjure logic from the ether, weaving binary speeds that power our digital realms. So let us nurture every seedling in the garden of youth. For there is a talent in me and you, just waiting for a little spark, a cosmic fire, the essence of talent, our heart's desire. My name is Clement Jessica, exploring my talent as a spoken word artist. And I
At home are enjoying themselves because I am enjoying myself. Moving on to the next item on my list, which is the introduction of one of our own. Please, it is a profound pleasure for me to bring up our next speaker for today. She is a medical student of Uni Ilorin, an alumni of Deeper Life High School Delta Campus, class 2019. Please join me as I call up stage now Miss Folowosele Deborah Ojoluwa.
A distinguished alumni of Deeper Life High School Delta Campus, Folowosele Deborah excelled academically, earning the title of Best Female Student in her SSCE exam 2019 set. Her passion for sport shone brightly as she dominated the sprinting scene from junior school to SS3, collecting numerous awards and accolades in inter-school competitions. Beyond athletics, she was an active member of the Student Fellowship and Drama Club, nurturing her creativity and spiritual growth. As a dynamic and accomplished law graduate, having obtained her LLB from Elizabeth University, Deborah where his father honed her legal skills through prestigious traineeship at renowned law firms such as Aluko and Ayobodai, British Network UK, and others, gaining hands-on experience in various legal disciplines, an associate arbitrator at the Nigeria Institute of Chartered Arbitrators. Deborah is committed to advancing the field of arbitration and alternative dispute resolution. She is also a young member of the International Council of Commercial Arbitration (ICCA) and a member of Institute for Transnational Arbitration. With certifications in project management and digital marketing, Deborah is an innovative professional bridging traditional legal practices and the evolving digital landscape. She is passionate about using her knowledge and skill to make a positive impact in legal and business sectors.
Greetings to everyone here present in the room. Please, can you hear me? Hello.
Very well. Please go on.
All right. Greetings to everyone present in the room today. Greetings to the Education Secretary, school administrators, principal and principal officers, educators, parents, and distinguished students. I am Folo Shele Deborah Ojuoluwa, and I am a graduate of law. I'm very happy to be here today speaking to you, and it's a privilege. And I appreciate the school management for this opportunity. Today, I will be speaking on the impact of Deeper Life High School and family life on my journey. I graduated from Deeper Life High School, Delta campus. When I was told about this program, I had a deep reflection on my journey, and I felt this is a good opportunity to tell my story. So I will urge everyone here to listen to me share my testimony and how my journey in Deeper Life High School was deeply impacted by my family and staff of Deeper Life High School. I am a product of a Christian home that loves God. I came from a family that is deeply rooted in ensuring discipline and good morals. Deeper Life High School for me was not just an institution, it was a nurturing environment. I would classify my journey in Deeper Life High School in 3 descriptions. It was a journey of becoming, it was a self-discovery journey for me, and it was also a journey of personal development. Why do I say this? I say this because reflecting back on my days in Deeper Life High School, I am very much convinced that I am who I am today because of the impact of Deeper Life High School in my life while I was there. Going back to my family life was a very big backbone for me back then in Deeper Life High School during my secondary school days. My family was always there to support me. They were always there to encourage me. And my story would not be complete without involving the impact of my family. My parents, when I was in secondary school, would always strive to call during the weekends to check up on me, to know how I was doing and all that. They would also ensure they tried their best to be present at my visiting days. My parents were the type that would always want to seek interaction with my educators whenever they find opportunity to come to school. They would want to talk to my educators. They would want to talk to my hostel mothers to inquire about my progress in and out of the classroom. And
also give them their accolades because they saw evident changes in my life. And I'm going to say this because before going into Deeper Life High School, I wasn't the way I came out from Deeper Life High School. When I was going into Deeper Life High School, I was a very timid, shy, and I battled with stage fright. But before I left Deeper Life High School, a lot changed. I experienced a wholesome change in my life because I was actively involved in extracurricular activities, and this helps to remold me into who I am today. I was actively involved in sporting activities. I was also involved in debating. I was involved in giving impromptu speech. And when I started all these activities, I never knew I was going to be so good at it. And why did I become so good? I became so good because I had encouragement from my family. My parents would always want to encourage me, want to motivate me that I am capable of whatsoever I feel I can't do. And that made me to surprise them and get myself involved in all these activities. There would be days that my parents would come for inter-house sports, and seeing them on the field would make me very happy because I know that I am going to be actively involved in the things that they encouraged me to be a part of. And that's shaped me into who I am today. Also, the impact of Deeper Life High School in my journey. Then I came into Deeper Life High School as a person that stuttered. Like I stuttered really to a great extent. I was a stutterer when I came into Deeper Life High School. But with the coaching, mentorship, and guidance of most of my educators, I found myself standing on the podium at various instances, being a debater and giving impromptu speech, even down to out of school competitions. And it's made me really happy because before then I never ever believed in myself, and I'm very grateful to date for all my educators did. Deeper Life High School was not just a school that focused on my academic well-being. They were very much concerned about every area of my life, spiritually, socially. I became very committed in my spiritual life. I got involved in student fellowship. I was a teacher in the house cell fellowship, and it was all because of the guide and the pushing of my educators back then. And I can remember an experience in my senior secondary school when we're in SS1 and we're about to go into various departmental classes, science, art, and commercial. I can remember approaching an educator because I needed some form of advice, and he really spoke well to me. And I can say that from that day, a lot changed. And here I am, a graduate of law, because of the advice I got from my educator back then. And I am still trying my best to make my parents and my educators proud. Finally, in summary, I would want to give some advice to parents present here and students like me, because I was once like you when I was in Deeper Life High School. I would want to let you know that consider your journey in Deeper Life High School as a journey of becoming. Why do I say this? You would be very grateful that you attended Deeper Life High School. This is because I am a first-hand beneficiary of the institution Deeper Life High School. Be very, very receptive to learning. Humble yourself to listen to advice and motivations from your educators. Try your best to stretch yourself. There are areas in school that you feel it is not something I can get myself involved in because I don't think I'm capable. I want you to take away such mindset from your mind because you are here to become who you want to be in future, and the journey starts here actively. Secondly, I would want to say be very humble and respectful to educators. They say a good name is better than riches. No matter the status you are in life, always respect your educators, even the non-academic staffs. I can remember a non-academic staff back then in Deeper Life High School. She always called me closer, she spoke to me, she encouraged me. And why was she doing that? She did that because she found me approachable and very level-headed. Thirdly, I would like to say why in Deeper Life High School, take your spiritual life very seriously. This is because when you go out to the outside world, you would value your growth if you actively involve yourself in building yourself spiritually. There is nothing you can achieve in life without God, because I always involved God in everything I did back then in Deeper Life High School, and God has always been helping me, and He is still helping me. Finally, I would like to speak to the parents here, our very distinguished parents. You are doing a lot for your child, and God is going to bless you for the investment that you're doing, and you would reap the fruit of your labor. But I am going to say a few things. Firstly is this: parents should try to be actively involved in their children's well-being. This is because when your children see that my parents really want the best for me, it creates them, it puts them on a pedestal that they would not ever want to let you down. They will try every way possible to make you proud. Secondly, I would say parents should try their best to never speak negatively of their child's school, where their child is, or speak negatively about any educator in school. This is because if you do that in front of your child, it would affect your child in ways you'd never imagine. It affects the output of your child while in school. It would affect the way they picture their school, the way they picture their lecturers. So I would urge the parents to try their best to avoid negative speaking about their child's school. Finally, I would end with saying this: I am who I am today because of the family I came from, and because of the impact of Deeper Life High School in my life. And I am still on the journey of becoming, which all started from my days in Deeper Life High School. So thank you very much to the school management for this opportunity. And I hope I've been able to speak to someone today, not just as an ex-student, but as a senior sibling to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Deborah, for such an exposition. Deeper Life High School Leadership
Deeper Life High School.
Thank you once again, Ms. Deborah. Sorry for that break in transmission.
One, two.
Hello.
Hello?
So we are going to play this fun game. We are sorry for the disruption in communication. We are going to play this fun game to ascertain how much just a few parents, a select few parents, know their words. And with me here on the podium are Odevera and Okenyi Esther. But first we're going to begin with the family of the Odes. So once again, welcome you to the Triangle 10.0 Ultimate Family Challenge show. You can see Mrs. Ode already on the screen, ready to answer the two questions that will show how much she knows her children in her family. And one of them is Miss Odevera, that's on my right hand side. And the first question for do the response by showing a placard. Let's know whether the mother will get the questions correctly. Question number 1. If your family, the family of the Odes, were stranded on a deserted island, who would be the first to try and make TikToks instead of building shelter to safeguard the lives of the family members? Who would trivialize the horrible experience of being on an island deserted without any help or hope in sight? Who in this family of 5 that to cushion the effects of the desertion of the family? We are waiting.
Can you repeat? Can you go over the questions again?
I should take the question again.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
If your family were stranded on an island and everybody is looking for a way out, who is that family member that will visualize the situation, that will be playful about it, that might even go about talking instead of building a shelter for the family? Who will be that unserious family member that will not really help out in such stranded situations? Mommy, can you hear me?
Valerie, yes.
Ma, just mention one person. You said Valerie?
Yes.
Okay, that's one question. Okay, let's see whether you are correct, Mrs. Ode. What we have here is Victor. You are wrong. When your child needs a piece of advice, when a child in your family needs a piece of advice, who in your family will you turn to first? If there is need for a piece of advice for a situation, a prevailing circumstance, who do you think among the children should be the first you will resort to for a piece of advice?
Among the children,
Your final answer? Ma, the question is, if Vera needs a piece of advice in your family, Vera, who do you think she would run to among your family members for a piece of advice?
okay, is it among the children or any of the family members?
Is it Valerie, Victor, mommy, or daddy?
Any of the family members?
Any of the family members?
Either mothers or any of the children?
Be specific. It's a confidence.
No, I said, yes, you said, is it any among any of the family members or among the other children?
Okay, between the parents, between the two parents, mommy and daddy, who would Vera run to for a piece of advice?
Mommy.
Me. That is a correct one. You were able to get the second question. A round of applause for Vera. Open it very well. At least you know your family halfway through. And we celebrate Mrs. Ode for your bonding pattern. God bless you. In the same vein, we are going to gladly welcome to the platform Mrs. Okenyi Christiana Oluwatosi, sorry, for her questions to authenticate how far she knows her words. And we have a very funny question here for Mrs. Okenyi Oluwatosi. Question number 1 before the daughter responds. Which family member stays the longest in the bathroom? Among your words, Miss Okenyi, Mommy, I hope you can hear me. Ma, you are muted.
Okay. Thank you. Amongst the children, I would say it's a he.
Let's see whether you're correct. And the answer is correct. He past one. For the second question, before you wrap up this promise, like Miss Okay is going to take the huge fringe benefit we have for this family challenge game. Question number 2. What is the thing that your child does that always surprises you, even though you have seen her do it before? It is a regular thing, but each time she does it, you're surprised. A hobby?
Well, I think it's academics.
Academics? Is that your final
Yes.
answer? A hobby. Leave the cognitive aspect of her life. Look at her extracurricular life.
Dance. When she's dancing. Yes. Yes.
Let's celebrate Miss Okay for getting 100%. Your morals await you, and we are happy having you on this platform. God bless you, Miss Okay. So, thank you, Miss Odevera and Miss Ehi Okay for being part of the Triangle 10.0 Ultimate Family Show. What's the next?
Student presentation.
What about here?
I am Moses Marvelous from DLHS High School, Abeokuta campus. I'm here to perform a piece of music titled The
Okay, don't start with the student
composed
presentation.
and arranged by Scott.
Better.
I'm playing the piece in the key of B flat major and the time signature is 2/4. Enjoy.
So are we going to move it now? Closing prayer. Yes, that's the next thing. How are we going to give the... Now after the student presentation, we'll give a closing remark. We'll appreciate everybody. What will happen is that... How are we going to go about this now? Let's see.
Where focus goes, energy flows. Too many people waste time on entertainment and distractions rather than investing in their purpose. Evaluate where you are and where you want to be. How bad do you want to reach that next level? It's about waking up early to train, staying up late to study, and making tough choices that prioritize your goals over temporary pleasures. When you are committed, you don't make excuses. You make progress. You don't wait for the perfect moment. You seize every moment and make it perfect. Shut down distractions and focus on what truly matters. Evaluate your life, heal from past wounds, and prepare for the future. Step into your purpose with faith and boldness.
Let the curtain fall, it's time to wake up. No more putting up a dog. Best excuses. I don't wanna know, I don't wanna know. Are you ready to do it but only think about it? Are you hoping for something but don't know how to grab it? Are you longing for a change but it never happens? Are you good to go? Are you good to go? Maybe you should just do it. Lion. Fat. You can just believe it. Are you good to go? Are you good to go? No one will wait up. No one will wait up for you. No one will wait up. No one will wait up. No one will wait up for you. Let them come for the time. Horse.
When you water a field of dreams, just remember it started with a seed. Every moment and every deed has made you who you are, and who you are is all you need.
You've got the potentials, you just gotta keep striving. You never know what you'll uncover.
Whoa, has it always been right here? Well, that was the randomly appeared.
Time can fool the eye, my dear, like no other.
When there's a light shining bright up ahead, you still gotta chase it.
Chase it, chase it.
Yeah, you get what you give, so give your all and
embrace it. Embrace it. Cause you got the strength inside you, but you gotta make it grow. The path feels the how to guide you, but you gotta walk the road. Fly like you never forget.